Always nice to see a lose max health for a ton of money starting option. But the merchants are inconveniently located. Very notably, if I were to go to this shop here, that I can no longer reach this rest site, so we can't go to the left here. We would have to do... I could maybe fight this elite. That's not too bad. Interesting. FBI's Most Unwanted, thanks for 36 months of support. 3 Imperial years. You're so welcome for the many months of cozy, positive vibes. Mark Makar says, I had a silent run over the weekend that started with Tingsha and Tough Bandages after 2 Act 1 elites. All I needed for the rest of the run was to play Calculated Gamble. Yeah, pretty much. Funny, to this day, we've played with relic stats for quite a while, which tracks the numerical values of different relics and their outputs. And to this day, I have not had a number as high as a Tingsha that I once got in terms of relics that deal damage or really stack any number of anything. We got a Tingsha to something like 4,000 damage, and it was all just playing Calculated Gamble over and over again. Silent definitely loves card removals, for sure. Even outclassed the all-powerful boot. The other option is, we don't actually necessarily have to go to an early shop with a 250 gold start. We could do something like this. It really all depends on how strong we get initially, I suppose. So it's really going to depend on these first few nodes. We could decide we want to go to the shop immediately, or we could decide we're strong enough, let's fight the first elite, get a couple of upgrades and a relic, then cash in at this shop, and be prepared for the rest of the act. I would really like this green path, in particular. But it's all predicated upon being able to do this without help from spending our money. Thankfully, losing 6... I'm just going to click on this option here. Losing 6 max health is a relatively minor penalty, since we don't lose any current health. And the gold gain is huge. Definitely want to make sure we're taking combats here over events in the early nodes. It'd be nice to get a random shop or something, but the odds are pretty low. Redlap79 and Cruel Pack, thank you both for 4 months of Prime. The double Prime. Who currently holds the record for Silent Streak? That's gotta be Zeknar, surely. Right? We have a command for this. Yeah, Zeknar. 16 in a row with a silent. That's pretty absurd. We'll give a shout out to Zeknar as well. Zeknar streams Slay the Spire pretty much almost every day. Primarily silent and defect. You won't see Watcher or Ironclad on their channel, but they stream very slow, analytical, thoughtful play, thinking out as many decisions as possible and achieving unprecedented success on silent in particular. And I'd heard that the legend, the man, the myth, Jorbs is currently on a 16 streak, so good luck to him. I wouldn't want to be starting a silent run if I were him right now, that's for sure. Anywho, we're here to talk about this stream and the current run, rather than the hypotheticals of other channels. So let's get some choices up. I think what we should do is give ourselves the option to visit this shop, and we'll figure it out whether we can take, this elite or where exactly we go after this node. But what I want to do first is collect 2 combat rewards, maybe 3. We'll see what this first event is, and then decide, can I go along the green path, or do I have to spend my money at the shop immediately? So the main things we're looking for here are good damage options from the first 2 combats. We're looking to not lose too many hit points to the first 3 combats. And we're looking to get potions. At least 1 decent potion. Decent being a fire potion, a fear potion, a Blessing of the Forge, Cultist Potion, Strength Potion, something that lets us do damage. Even an Explosive Potion would do great. John F. says, as my gameplay improves, I've grown to love optionality. Indeed. And I've grown to... Keeping your options open is really essential in Spire, because you never know what random rewards you're going to be given, and being able to adapt to which ones you're presented with is really the most helpful thing that you can do, so that you're consistently becoming stronger. And so optionality not only on the map and what paths you can potentially proceed to is important, but it's also important to keep in mind deck building optionality. The cards that you add to a deck will shape which other cards become good for you. For example, if I add 2 Blade Dances, I can think about taking an Accuracy from there. If I don't have any Blade Dances, I'm not going to want an Accuracy. So the more Blade Dances I have, the more Accuracy becomes an option. And taking cards in such a way that you have increasing numbers of options for what else can be added is a very helpful thing to do for yourself, deck building wise. Not to be able to do. Okay. Perfect. Might even be correct to play Strike here, take 1. That feels correct. Might be possible that I can get through this fight with no damage taken. I think it was. Okay, we got... That's a good enough potion. That is a decent potion. Oh, and speaking of accuracy, I can't reasonably take this since I have no shivs. Fayley, thanks for the triple Baker's Dozen. There once was a man from Connecticut who slaved days climbing and riding, and though he slayed the building, his victory was always getting cut. Getting cut, Connecticut? Oof. Thank you so much, Fayley. And Total Misplay, thanks for 5 months, almost to that half year, and the Prime sub. Yeah, the no attack first reward. I'm very, very happy overall with the well-laid plans, though. Well-laid plans, letting us retain cards from turn to turn. Very, very useful silent power overall. I think a very good success indicator for a silent run overall is whether you have access to some kind of retain, be it well-laid plans or Runic Pyramid. And it's also very, very helpful against 2 out of the 3 elites that we could be fighting. The Sentries and the Lagavulin in particular. Well-laid plans does a very good job of dealing with. Keep my strike, thank you. You can kind of think of well-laid plans as a form of card draw, because a card retained is a card that you don't have to draw. And it also means you have 1 more card in hand total at the end of your turn. So it gives you more options on your turn. Here's some damage. Well, actually, the accuracy would have worked out. That's really funny. Maybe that was the right choice. Take the blind accuracy. Either way, I'm perfectly content to take a Blade Dance here. 3 shivs into our hand. 12 damage for 1 energy. That is not an amazing amount of damage, but it's definitely useful at a good start. Arctinator says, is it just me or was Neutralize Plus super value early? I think it's the additional turn a weekend is really, really nice in these first few fights, definitely. Especially against, again, the Act 1 elites, Lagavulin and Gremlin Knob. Both really, really, really manageable if you have an extra turn a weekend. So yes, the early Neutralize upgrade is pretty dang good. Though I think it starts to get a little bit weaker as you go... Get it weaker as you go further into the run. Match and Keep here is intriguing. There's a rare card from Silent, as well as an uncommon, a common, a neutralize, and then 2 sets of curses. We'll just go from the top left, as is tradition. We reveal a curse. It's a 1 in 11 that we reveal another doubt. Actually, maybe even higher than that. Getting a curse here would definitely incentivize me to head to the shop immediately. Have I ever gotten 2 curses from this event? I don't know if I've ended up with 2 curses. But I have ended up with 2 cards I didn't want. And I have matched either 3 or 4 cards in one session of this as well. I've never gotten the match 5. Alright, what's the second card? It's Burst. Okay, thankfully we're not getting cursed today. We reveal a Neutralize. If we click on a new card, we may add a second copy of Neutralize to the deck, which I'm actually okay with for now. And that's indeed what happens. Now we are double Neutralize. Dodge and Roll. Dodge and Roll is not a bad card, but I don't want one right now. So I'm going to reveal the Burst instead. Blur. Blur I would be okay with. Do we add a Blur? Let's add a Blur. Alright, now that's not exactly a huge increase in our damage output, but I think the deck did get a little bit better here. Blur is a block that lets us retain block. I like that alongside Well-Laid Plans especially. And now we have 2 copies of Neutralize, which is probably going to be useful. It also means we got the deck much more developed, which means I think we have a much better likelihood of succeeding through this elite path, especially if we take another combat or 2. So I'm intending to go along the green path here, delay our purchasing at the shop. If we die to this first elite, then it's entirely my fault. But I really don't think it's going to happen. We might lose a lot of health, but there's no way we'll die. So I think I'm going to go the green path here. We even get a bonus combat, which is actually a good thing here. Let's see, 11 plus 12. 23, 24 to kill. This is 12. I could kill one by spending all 3 energy, or I can block, neutralize, take a lot less than that. Okay, so we'll neutralize 1. This one, defend, and then strike this one, rather than blade dancing. We take 3. We should be set up to defeat them next turn in satisfactory manner. Are we on the September plan yet? We are not. We are not. Begins in September. Bramhammer, would you call this a lousy card reward? I don't think I would. So I'm pretty happy with a Predator here. And I'm very happy with Strength Potion. I'm now very convinced that we'll easily beat this elite. Because we got another decent damage potion. We have 2 to spend. And another good card. Spoon89. Thank you so much for 9 months. Closing in on that full year. Caught a lousy joke. I'm sorry if that punchline bugged you. But I've been itching to tell that one all day. Taking the Predator, upgrading it is definitely a solid line. I'm not sure 100% sure if Predator will be upgrade. We could maybe make an argument for the Blade Dance upgrade or even the Well-Laid Plans, but I think the line is definitely take the Predator. 1, Predator is a whole bunch of upfront damage, something that we're needing quite badly right now. It's also a damage in the form of a single condensed card number, which is going to be particularly important for the Lagavulin fight. Right now, if we fight a Lagavulin and we get debuffed down to -4 strength, our ability to deal damage is basically entirely gone, and we'll lose that fight. But with Predator, -4 strength, it'll still deal 11 damage. That's substantial, and lets us get a lot done. I also like the bonus card draw of Predator, particularly combined with the Well-Laid Plans, and combined with having 2 0-cost neutralizes in this deck. Predator is also meaningful. I like Piercing Whale with Well-Laid Plans, especially with our Act Boss being Hexaghost here. We'll have to plan for this fight eventually, but right now, we just need to get to that first store. Although most of our card rewards for the act will be over soon. That said, we haven't seen any poison or anything that specially works against Hexaghost. Predator will definitely help there too. We need that damage. Don't think we live in a world where I get to go for the Burning Elite. That would be extra juicy if we could do that, but I think this is just gonna excessively spend our resource in the short term and leave us in what could be a critical position. Frequency, thanks for 2 months of support. Let's keep going green. We get a relic anyway. A medium chest. As a reminder, there are 3 different types of treasure chest in Slay the Spire. So-called small, medium, and large. This would be a medium. This triangular light blue chest. If it contains money, it'll be on the order of 50 gold, and it can contain any rarity, common, uncommon, or rare, of relic. 50-ish gold and a common relic. The bronze scales give us 3 thorn, 3 damage back when we're attacked. Hexaghost quivering already. Ulti Energy, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Welcome to the Cozy Sub Club. Now I'm really happy that we waited. We're going to get to open another treasure chest too. We could have as much as 500 gold or more going into that first shop. Birds now solved, indeed. This fungi beast will guaranteed attack us next turn. Probably want to blur a bit here. This is a relatively easy Act 1 hard pool fight. The combined health of these is so low that you can usually just end the fight by attacking them. But it's a little tricky, because when you kill one, you become vulnerable, meaning the other one will do more damage to you. So knowing exactly who to kill and who not to. Challenge. I think I'll retain 6 block here. Bring this one down to Predator-ish range. And here we have a bit of a dilemma. Blade Dance and Strike kills this fungi beast. This one will then do 9 damage. Easy. Like I said, the total combined health is just very convenient in this fight. Being so low, it's very easy to kill them. No prob. Get 1 more potion, an Ancient Potion, letting us block a debuff. That's nice and all, but it doesn't deal additional damage like these potions do. Skewer. Ulti Energy says, thanks for all the content on YouTube. Really helped me get back into the game with some good knowledge. Some real good knowledge. We're already pretty spec'd into physical attacks. I think Skewer here is actually very spicy as a pick. It's a card I've kind of slept on for a while, but the more I've used it, the more I've really come to like Skewer. An X-cost attack is exactly what Silent needs, having so many block cards in her deck, as well as a strong desire to remove strikes. Deadly Poison is nice in that it could allow us to get past Hexaghost more easily. But I think with the Bronze Scales and the Skewer, we're already most of the way there, and the Skewer will serve us much better in the upcoming Elite fights. If we take Skewer, that's the first upgrade then, not Predator. Let's do it. I'm going to take and upgrade Skewer. I probably would have taken a Bouncing Flask there. But not a Deadly Poison. First opponent is indeed a Leggy Voolan. Just keep Blur here. Go with Blur Predator or something. Oh, even better. I also drew both neutralizes, so we get to weaken them. Do I feel the need to use the Strength Potion here? It certainly would benefit me with a lot of damage. Rosbun says, if I hadn't upgraded Skewer there, what would I have upgraded? Probably Predator. Or we could... The other argument is because of Strength Potion, upgrade Blade Dance. As if I'm planning on using the potion, this will do 6 additional damage with the Strength Potion. So either Predator or Blade Dance, depending on how afraid of specifically the next fight I am. I should have kept Survivor, I knew it. Alright, I'll do this. That's some good damage. Won't be weak next turn. That's okay. I'm gonna keep the skewer here. Block 3 times. Try not to lose too much health in this fight. Please draw neutralize. Thank you. It works. If it works, it works. Play Blade Dance and Skewer, keep the Predator? Yeah. So we take 10 in this fight, which I'm quite happy with. I think the Strength Potion dramatically shortened the length of that fight. We get a very good relic for the Silent, especially Akabeko, causing our first attack each combat to do additional damage. Offered another Well-Laid Plans. Not so useful here. I don't think 2 of these is appropriate, given that they're 1 cost now. Reflex. With no discard is not very good. Slice could be appropriate here, maybe with the extra draw from Predator, but I think we're just as fine not having a Slice since we have the Skewer. Although they do work well together. I don't think we need this. Let's grab a relic, get an upgrade, and then head to the shop with no additional money. Yeah, that's why we don't grab the Slice, because all the future attacks will be upgraded. And now I feel really good not having picked Deadly Poison, because if attacks are upgraded, we're going to want to add a whole bunch more attacks. My only regret is that this happened after we added the additional Neutralize. Just think, we could have gotten a free Neutralize Plus. So, 488 gold for the shop. That's going to be beautiful. All of the attacks in the shop are going to be upgraded. That's also beautiful. We're definitely getting rewarded big-like here for delaying the shop a bit, rather than going to a shop right at the beginning of the act with all this money. Question is, do I upgrade Predator, Blade Dance, or something else? We can upgrade another card after the shop, too. A legendary 4x Neutralize. We could buy another Neutralize at the shop. Is it ever worth it to upgrade the Well-Laid Plans in Act 1? It can be. I think it will help a lot specifically against our boss, so I might... If I'm going to upgrade Well-Laid Plans, I should probably do it at this fire right here, because I don't think it'll matter really anywhere else. Let's upgrade this Predator first. This is definitely a damage upgrade we're going to want later on. Oh, goodness. Ka-ching. We're rich. Membership card gives us a 50% discount on all products, such as another Well-Laid Plans. That's actually a very reasonable singing bowl to purchase. Giving us money for skipped cards. Given that we have Akabeko, paying 25 gold for a Dagger Spray Plus seems pretty good. And a Backstab Plus also seems pretty good. Koryuap says, is there a rough cap to the number of innate cards I typically like? Yes. I like to have innate cards roughly equal to my starting draw minus 5. So if I'm drawing 5 cards on turn 1, I don't want any innate cards. If I have Bag of Preparation, I'm okay with up to 2. Is Puzzle bad here? No, I think Puzzle's actually exceedingly good. Draw 3 the first time we lose health each combat. Puzzle is one of my best performing common relics. When we look back at our stats at the halfway point of this year, and I think there's a very good reason for that. Ultimately, this is draw 3, and it's draw 3 at a time the player has some control over, which is quite good. Another thing that I really like here in this shop, especially if I get additional card draw, Panic Button, especially combined with good card draw. We got the Predator, we have the Centennial Puzzle, and we have Retain. Panic Button can be a huge game changer as well. So I really would like to, at this shop, purchase Backstab, Dagger Spray, Panic Button, and card removal. That probably means I can't get the Singing Bowl. So I think we'll go with a puzzle instead. Yeah, it's also great with Blur, right? That's right, because you can Panic Button and Blur. You don't have the ability to gain more block on the subsequent turn, but you do get to keep the extra block from the Panic Button. So first, let's remove Strike. That's happening for sure. Definitely buying Dagger Spray. I'm gonna buy Panic Button. I can't buy both of these at this point, right? Even if I skip the backstab. 139. Plus 83. 222. Oh, that's funny. So I could have gone backstab and both relics. I think I'll go backstab puzzle. As much as buying Singing Bowl is nice. I think with the Molten Egg, we'll probably not be skipping that many cards. He said ominously. Alright. We take another fire, or do we now want card rewards more? I'm actually pretty happy upgrading the stuff we do have, though. I'd like to upgrade Panic Button, Well-Laid Plans, and Blur. Maybe even Survivor. I think I'd rather upgrade Blur than Panic Button initially. And we could, of course, think about maybe upgrading one of these neutralizes. I guess I am going to upgrade the Well-Laid Plans early. Is there an argument for buying Backflip? There is an argument for picking one up there. I think it's a reasonable card. But I think we can get one for free, probably. If we want one. I'm gonna upgrade the Blur Flurst? Yes, upgrade the Blur Flurst. Now we face the Gremlin Knob, against whom I might have been concerned previously, but no longer am. That should be easy. I don't even think we need to use the Poison Potion here, so I'll keep that Poison Potion in case we need it for the Hexaghost fight. Take a little bit. Draw extra cards. And boy, oh boy, we got a Juzu Bracelet. We won't encounter combats in question mark rooms. That's not necessarily a good thing. Combat's providing card rewards, combat's providing money, but I'll pick it up. Usually like to get relics, and sometimes the events can be very, very good indeed. I want an Eviscerate plus with no discard? I don't think so. Alright, so while Singing Bowl would have been 2 health there, noted. Another shop. Interesting. Dark Shackles is an excellent card to pick up here. We can remove another strike, which is quite good. Or we can buy one of these 3 relics. Warpaint upgrade 2 of our skills, probably just our defense. Art of War to give us bonus energy after not playing attack cards. That can be good, although with Molten Egg, who knows. Or Souvenir to give us an artifact at the start of each combat. That can be very useful later on. Problem is I can't pick any of these alongside a card remove, which is also very valuable to me. Although one wonders if we're being offered Pandora's Box. Oh, the Souvenir works with Panic Button already, too. That is indeed correct. Don't think I would need to buy a potion here. We should be fine in the short term. I am definitely not worried about the damage race against Hexaghost at this time. No, we even have, like, we can retain Panic Button for the Inferno turn if we really need to. I think I'm just going to cut a strike. Do I pick up Doppelganger? That is somewhat tempting, actually. I might have bought Souvenir Doppelganger if I could. Card remove Doppelganger is interesting. Doppelganger says, on your next turn, draw X cards and gain X energy. That's a card that particularly benefits from an upgrade. And can let us do some very interesting things with Skewer. I'm gonna buy that. Do I upgrade that before I upgrade the Will Aid plans, is the question. I think the answer is no. Yeah, it also makes Chemical X a thing later. We're more likely to see Chemical X because we're going to be visiting more shops. But I'm not too concerned specifically with the possibility of Chemical X. It's a pretty good turn 1 damage-wise. Alright, this would be an acceptable time to use the panic button, quite frankly. Means we'll guaranteed take a hit next turn. I'm gonna do it. So on this turn, we can't generate any block from cards, which means we have to take this 4. But I'll just spend all of our energy on Doppelganger so that I can do big damage next turn. Just keep the Blur, not the Survivor. We're going to go to a full hand of cards one way or the other here. Panic Button has fantastic beta art. It is Champ's executability. And a very panicked-looking Silent, I suppose that's supposed to be. Execute. Storming attack for a minor amount, that's okay. This does more damage. Get skewered on. Definitely doesn't feel like we need the poison potion. We got 4 turns, actually 3 turns to deal 69 damage. That should be nice and easy. Or will it be? If I don't do any damage on this turn, that's maybe a bit more difficult. Oh yeah. Your doom has arrived. GG, Hexagos. GG. Get some mega money there, as well as another potion back up to 2 going into the act. We're offered a Die plus a Tools the Trade or a Corpse Explosion. All interesting options here. Tools the Trade would let us take Hovering Kite if we see it, as well as just being more card draw in general. Although Tools doesn't change the number of cards you start your hand with. Since you draw 1, then discard 1. It essentially lets you look at 1 more card each turn, as well as draw through the deck more quickly, and that can be quite good. Just having another upgraded duo damage to all enemies card seems pretty dang nice for the next act. If we want to take on Elites of Act 2, this card will really, really help. As would Corpse Explosion, I suppose. Although the Die will work more nicely along with the Akabako. Die Akabako deals 25 damage. It's actually more than the Dagger Spray does. Is that correct? No, this does 28. But either are an amazing turn 1 draw here. Broken Bard says, I like Die especially because it goes away after you use it. Yeah, I really have come more and more to like the silent attacks that exhaust Backstab, Die, and Endless Agony because they are more broadly useful. You know, in the short-term fights, you only need to play them one time, and in the long-term fights, you get to play them, they leave, and you're able to draw through the cards that you do need for the boss fight. Let's take that Die. It is the card that says Plus. It is known that upgrading your well-laid plans will summon a Runic Pyramid. Do we take it? With an upgraded well-laid plans, Runic Pyramid says no longer discard your hand at the end of turn. That's not necessarily good. But Pyramid is better than one well-laid plans, I'll tell you that for sure. We could take Empty Cage, remove 2 more cards from the deck, drop 2 more strikes, and have a really small, really consistent set of cards. Or we could take Black Star, giving us an additional relic whenever we kill an elite, and that could be very good indeed here in Act 2. Should we handshake with vampires because the egg? Maybe with 3 strikes, but probably not, quite frankly. These are all reasonable options in their own right. The fact that I have a blur and a panic button really makes me want to take Runic Pyramid, quite frankly. If I'd taken the Art of War, this Pyramid would be easy. I do think we are strong enough to take Black Star, and that this deck could get really silly with some help from the Black Star. Interesting. Very interesting. Can take the star and die to the first elite. If it's Book of Stabbing, it could happen. That said, I think we're very, very likely to simply thrash the first elite. Especially with these 2 potions. Maybe I should have taken that Singing Bowl. This will be quite a few additional relics over the course of the run, some of which could give us money. If it was just about the removes, then I think Cage is a very good option. I really don't feel like we need Cage that much, though, especially not in the short term. I'm going to go with the Black Star on this run. I think because we have the upgraded well-laid plans and so much card draw, we should be able to get the cards that we need to stay in our hand. Looks like we can do 3 elites this act. That's not too bad. And we could even hit a shop before the first one, something like this. Could even now go Burning Elite from here, more likely this. Don't see a 4 elite path. Koryop says, Cage make taking 1 to Avocado on turn 1 a lot less likely. True. Very true. Much more likely to draw the Panic button or the Blur and Neutralize. I think that's still okay. We'll have to assess how strong we are. Going for the Burning Elite this act would be a reasonable idea, but it's really all going to depend on how this first one goes. I think I like 2 easy combats, then 2 unknown rewards here. Juzu Bracelet will ensure those aren't fights, so we might be able to get something useful there. Greetings! Do I want to play the Predator, or do I want bonus Akabeko value? If I play Skewer here... Actually, wait, 18 times 3 plus this is just going to kill, right? I don't need to overthink this. We just win. Good stuff, Silent. Pick up a ghost in a jar. Alright, we can maybe think about the Burning Elite. Do we add a Slice Plus? If I had Runic Pyramid, I'd be taking Slice Plus. But I think without it, I don't want it. Has to be Acro here? I don't think it does. with 3 base energy. I'd much rather take a backflip than an acro under these circumstances. I think we'll be skipping entirely, and we'll be going Ghost and Jar over Poison Potion. Poison Potion technically better against Book of Stabbing, but I'm not sufficiently worried about Book of Stabbing. And I'm definitely not sufficiently worried about these nerds. Greeting bird nerds, I have the bronze scales, which say you're going to die. Although the question is, how do I minimize my own self-damage taken here? We need one of the birds to perish to the thorns. Ideally, I take exactly 1. That would be ideal. Let's see. Skewer's going to do 9 damage X times. And then Backstab's going to do 7. 15 divided by 2. So we do 9, 9, 7. 25 total damage. So if I defend once, Skewer for 2, Backstab, I'll take 2 damage. That's almost perfect. What if I defend? Backstab, then Skewer. Do 11 plus 5. I think I take 0 in that case. Because we need the bird to... What if I don't play the Skewer, actually? That might work. Bring it to 17. That would cause it to die on the 6th hit, so it would take 2 then. If I play the Skewer, it would take 0. What if I play just the Skewer instead of the Backstab? Or rather, Strike and Backstab, rather than Skewer and Backstab. I think that's the way to do it. So if I bring you to 14 health, you die on the 5th hit. You do 6 hits. Yeah, this way we take 1 damage. Play the Strike, not the Skewer. We get to use our Centennial Puzzle here, while also inflicting maximum Thorns damage. That way, this turn isn't so much of a problem. So I'll weaken them both. That way I can play the well-laid plans. Huzzah! Oh, was there a way to set up that essentially exact first turn, but using a different card, we could have more optimally assigned damage? I believe that. Looks like it worked out, though. $10. Another Dagger Spray plus. We have a Die plus. I don't feel like I need another Dagger Spray. Or an Accuracy with only the 1 unupgraded Blade Dance, nor do I need a Sneaky Strike plus because I don't have enough discard. That's okay. Let's take some events now. We got 2 good potions. We're offered a Ritual Dagger plus in exchange for 6 health or 50 gold with membership card going into a shop. That's a tough choice because both of those things are exceedingly good. Glarkon, if you're forced to choose between 2 sodas that you really, really want to drink, would you call that a SoFizz choice? I buy Ritual Dagger plus for 100 gold. This is a pretty early Ritual Dagger. We have a Black Star as well. If we diligently kill foes with the dagger, which we can retain with well-laid plans, then its strength will grow quite immense. The event's not showing Ritual Dagger is upgraded, but with Molten Egg, whenever a card that's an attack is added to the deck, it will be upgraded. So Molten Egg will cause this to be a Ritual Dagger plus. Yeah, and bear in mind the additional money puts us over the threshold for a rare relic at the shop. So the choice of not taking Ritual Dagger could lead to something like Fossilized Helix or Incense Burner. And one less card that I have to baby, and 6 more current health. An Incense Burner would be really good. Actually, both of those relics would be very, very good against this boss in particular. But man, a well-trained Ritual Dagger can be immensely, immensely powerful. For Act 3 and 4, Ritual Dagger is such a solve. However, I don't feel like I need a long-term scaling solution. That's the other thing here. Ritual Dagger is something that's going to give us more and more and more strength gradually over time. Guess what? We already have that in the Black Star. We already have that in the membership card. I'm going to take the money now. And we are offered remove strikes, gain bite pluses in exchange for 18 max health. This will cost us 2 card removes. However, this is pretty hype. Across several hooded figures in the midst of some dark ritual, they turn to you in eerie unison. Join us, sister, and feel the warmth of the spire. In exchange for 18 of our max health, we get 5 copies of Bite Plus. These deal 8 damage and heal us for 3 health. That's pretty dang good. Glad we didn't take the empty cage, I suppose. Let's do it. They're upgraded bites. I mean, how can you refuse? Maybe you should, but I didn't. Alright, do I really want to go to this shop? I think I do. Nightmare is here. Strange Spoon is here. Given our low base energy, pretty hard to turn down Happy Flower for the additional energy. How do I feel about card removals? Would I remove a defend at this point? Surely bites are better than defends. Although if I get footwork, that won't be the case. We should definitely buy the Happy Flower. Leaving us with 98 gold. That is enough for a card remove and a footwork. Do I go down to 4 bites? They're nice and all, but you don't necessarily want 5 of them. And I do want footwork. I do want footwork. I think it's footwork card remove. Yeah. I'm going to remove one of the 5 bites so that we go down to 4. 4 feels like the perfect number for now. And our first opponent is the Book of Stabbing. I feared it might be. Had feared it might be. What I'm trying to say. That means we just want to take all the damage this turn so that I can skewer as hard as possible with Active Echo. We need that bonus damage, every point of damage we can get to make this fight go better. So I'm going to do this. Just fully take the damage. Keep Bite Plus and die. Draw a bunch of cards here. We may need to use the Ghost Najar to win this fight. It's all going to depend on some specifics here. Could go Survivor, Defend. I'm going to go Survivor, Bite. We have bonus energy next turn. We're going to get more and more wounds added as we do this. It's an unfortunate problem here. Keep the Panic button, keep the Predator Plus. Feels right. Still no blur. How unfortunate. Can I do the required damage next turn? Or do I have to hold Panic button for next turn? Either way, we're playing this. So it's either Footwork, Defend, and Neutralize, hold Bite and Panic button, or it's Panic button, Bite and Blade Dance, hold Neutralize. I think if I hold the Panic button, I don't have to use the Ghost in a Jar. But I do have to take some more damage. That's okay, because we have Bite Pluses, which can heal us back. So we'll take 11 or so here. Keep Bite, Panic Button. Can block this fully with Panic Button. Draw one more card for next turn. Keep these two. Might have to be the Explosive Potion. Really unfortunate draws there. Oh, no, we have exactly a kill. I'll take it. No potion required, and look at those relics. Preserved Insect makes future elites easier to kill. Mummified Hand makes a card free when we play a power. And a Malaise. We've had some really lucky Black Stars lately, where we immediately start getting lots of good relics. It's a good feeling. Now, despite the fact that we have 22 health, we do not need to rest right now, because we can get that health back with bites, and we have a Ghost in Jar to get us out of a tight situation. I'm going to upgrade this Doppelganger so that we can always rely upon it for additional card draw. And we're going to head into our second of 3 elite fights here. The Tiny Slavers. And what a draw it is on turn 1. Dagger Spray the Fools. Bite the nerd in the middle. Actually, I can make this even better for me, right? Bite you. Backstab you. Don't hurt this man. He's my friend. Because I'm very hungry. Much better. Bag of Marbles to go with our turn 1 Akabeko nonsense. Omamori to negate curses. Do we want that backflip? Maybe. We have Dexterity now? Yes. Glad I didn't buy a backflip earlier. It's Slavers for breakfast. So, looking more and more like the Burning Elite is within our grasp. We know it's not Super Slavers. And we have a Ghost in a Jar. Because we have Black Star and we want to be able to hunt for additional elites next act, I think it's very reasonable to go for this Burning Elite now. Especially since we're about to get another relic here. We were scared of Super Book of Stabbing. We could take Liquid Bronze, but I think we'll take the Explosive Potion. Max Health Book Scary? I don't think so now that we have the Malaise. I think we'll be okay in such a fight. If I get a Bottled Flame, what would I bottle? Dagger Spray, Die, or Skewer? Ooh, might have to be Skewer. Good question. We're not taking... Yeah, okay. Orichalcum is our relic. If we enter turn without any block, gain 6. I wouldn't call that broadly useful, but it definitely has some niche utility here. I don't think I'm going to turn this down. Let's go. Red Path. Can upgrade our footwork, I think we should upgrade the Malaise because of the threat of Book of Stabbing. Chomp. If only Bite healed you for the damage it dealt. I'd like to get to full health. I could just win now. Let's try to do better than that. Can't block, but I do have Orichalcum here. And there we go, full HP. So if you do take bites, I strongly recommend that you look for opportunities like we saw there and like we saw in the Slavers fight to prolong combat a little bit so that you can optimize your health a bit more. Do we want an escape plan? We really don't have that many skills in the deck, but it is kind of nice with the footwork and all. I'll take one. And I think I'll go Entropic Brew over Explosive Potion. We've got two pretty spicy potions here that I'd like to hold on to. Now we're offered a Transform 2 with Molten Egg. Pretty tempting, although... what cards would we transform? Blade Dance, I think, can go. Blade Dance and maybe one Defend. I don't necessarily want to exchange my Defends. Could actually, maybe what we want is Mutagenic Strength, giving us Strength on turn 1, so we do even more turn 1 damage with all of the various cards in the deck. I think that'd be mighty spicy with the bag of marbles. Or we could take Jax, which is quite interesting too, because we have the bites to heal. And because we have Centennial Puzzle. 0 cost gain strength is actually pretty spicy too. All of these could be useful in their own right. Interesting. Jax is scaling. Offensive scaling. We'd want to upgrade the drugs, but it's actually pretty good here. Jax might help us a lot against the Bronze Automaton, although I don't necessarily feel like we need help against Bronze Automaton. Maybe we do. In fact, actually, assuredly we do. Yeah, is Transform 2 the worst here? I think it might be. We're considering both Jax and Mutagenic Strength over the Transform 2. That is indeed a rarity. Don't need scaling if everything is dead on turn 1, but what about the boss? What about our boss? Killing Bronze Automaton with this deck could take quite a while. And that is my current concern. That poor guy's thumb is hurting. Make a choice, sir. Alright, let's try the Jax. I mean, how often do I get an option where Jax even seems remotely good? It is indeed the Gromlins. And here's our turn 1 Jax. Lose 3 health. Draw 3 cards. Gain 2 strength. Don't mind if I do. And look at that turn 1 KO. Power. Kaboom. Etc. Get destroyed, nerd. The Scroll Bar. Get Tingsha whenever we discard a card. During our turn, deal 3 to a random enemy. The Lizard Tail, giving us a second chance at life. Our Emerald Key and an Alchemize to obtain even more potions. Sign me up. Even though we've got really, really, really good potions currently, I'm still going to take an Alchemize so that we can generate more. Piercing Wail is also pretty good there. The Revan, thanks for 23 months of support. Yeah, Potion Belt, please. We're pretty likely to see one, all things considered, so I hope so. The turn 1 Jax strikes again. Upgraded Prepare. Draw 2, discard 2. That seems pretty broadly useful. With a free upgrade on it. Or I could take another escape plan. We can lean into multiple of these with footwork to be a thing. Take 1 prepared. Oh yeah, we have Tingsha too, so it does 6 damage. Yes, much better. And I think we want to upgrade Jax for the boss fight here. By solved block yet. We're getting pretty close. We have Malaise. We have footwork and blocks with well-laid plans, and we have bites. So we're very close to solving block entirely. Add a Ghost in Jar and a Lizard Tail, and I think we have basically the whole defensive plan online. think I might also use the Entropic Brew before the Ghost in Jar here. That's what I'm going to do. So Liquid Memories. Okay. I'm cool with that for now. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to use the Backstab yet. We're going to Doppelganger, draw so many cards. You'll wish I hadn't drawn so many cards. Keep these 2 attacks. And now I have 7 energy. 7 energy. And you will die. Ding ding. Keep the malaise and the panic button. Sure. Probably should have kept the malaise and the survivor, actually. That's alright. Free block is here. Alright, malaise isn't that good against Brahmin's Automaton, but setting them back essentially 1 buff turn is going to be a pretty worthy endeavor here. We're all blocked in already. More than we even needed to be, actually. You can see here, though, that our damage would be critically slow if it weren't for the jacks, causing us to increase gradually. GG. Unload plus Burst or Phantasmal Killer, causing our attacks to deal double damage on the next turn. Attack damage is how we're doing damage. So this card right here is one of the best ways for us to continue to scale in power. Better yet, it's a card we can upgrade to be 0 cost, so we don't have to worry as much about having an energy-efficient deck. We don't necessarily need an energy relic from the boss. Also multiplies with Akabeka, which can be pretty spicy. Or we could simply take a Fusion Hammer, say, heck it, I'll get more energy this way. And it's fine. Burst for Jack's also a curious option. I think we're much better off with a Phantasmal here. But I could see Burst doing some pretty good work in this deck. If we had 2 viable potion slots or a potion belt, Burst Alchemize might be nice, but I'm probably going to try to hold on to this Ghost in Jar till the end of the run. Slaver's Collar also looks pretty good here. I think with our immensely powerful front load, the Akabeko Bag of Marbles, basically any short duration combat that isn't an elite can be easily answered. And the few that are not, like the Maw and the Tentacle, won't even be that bad. And then we'll have no downside, extra energy every turn during the fights that really matter, the bosses and elites. Hey there, Failey. I did not know that Floppy Knights got a free update. The first DLC, Phoebe's prototypes, 4 side quest levels, 4 challenge levels, new cards, and some bug fixes. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool indeed. A very reasonable act layout. Glad we didn't take the Fusion Hammer. Looks like we'll be taking a few rest sites. I have Omamori here, so we definitely want to visit at least one event before our first shop. Might even go 2 shops. Although if I go to this shop, I can't do that then, right? So if I want any chance of that, I should do the following. And then we either go here or here. Also just look at more shops if we feel like we want to. And then either of these is good. I probably want to take the path with more question mark rooms. Given the Juzu bracelet. Currently, by the way, 0 combats avoided. Juzu was not responsible for giving us bites. I'd like to keep pointing that out. That just because you got something good in the event room doesn't mean Juzu even helped you at all. Stinky Juzu bracelet. Alright, Ekabeko Dagger Spray. It'll kill them all. There's one small problem with that. One teensy beansy tiny problem with that. Which is that I'll also die. Thanks, Power Potion. Good to know you've got my back. So I have no idea why these flankers are so aggro. Kind of terrifying, actually. Remember, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the precipitate. This acrobatics we take, not the unupgraded one we saw last act, but rather this upgraded one here in Act 3. That's the good one. Alright, event, what do you have for me? Oh, blessed day. 999 gold for the low price of 0 curses, thanks Omamori, with membership card, equals we're rich AF. And no one can stop us. Can it really be this easy? Guess we're going to go to 2 stores after all, and it means we don't even need to lose any elites. Wonderful. Wonderful. Just gain 2,000 gold. Party like it's 1998. Amazing. Do I actually just want to kill 1, take 3? Probably. Still, yeah, also notably, still Juzu Bracelet has done literally nothing. So, no credit for this goes to Juzu Bracelet. Not even a bit. Not even a little bit. I see the problem here. I can't quite get them both. Very close I can, but not quite. Oh dear. Might have to use the potion here. Oh, no, Blade Dance will help a lot. Yeah, these are 14 apiece, no problem. And I'll take another footwork very, very happily. With Mummified Hand, it's easy to afford, and it's going to really round out the blocking game for us here. Although we'll like to upgrade both footworks if possible. Shop numero uno, we are loaded beyond belief. And also beyond belief are the things in this shop. Another Ghost in a Jar, a Vajra. We could take Prismatic Shard if we wanted to. Almost feels like we might as well. The deck is basically complete at this point. And quite frankly, cards from other characters would be really useful because we're attack-based. Especially since we're picking up Terror here. Could take a second Panic Button. Not sure how I feel about that. Do I even want to buy a Ghost in a Jar when I have Alchemize? Terror is great, though. Yeah, look for Heat Sinks. I agree. Is it time to remove Blade Dance? I think it's actually still decent. So what would I remove? Well, I'll definitely take Vajra, Shard, Terror. Is it right to remove Defense? Unsure. With so much dexterity, it doesn't feel right, especially if I buy this footwork as well. How do we know the deck is virtually complete? We have a defensive plan, we have an offensive plan, and we have a heck of a lot of relics. Like, you could put me into the heart fight right now, replacing Snecko Oil with Ghost in a Jar, and I'd feel pretty confident that we'd win. So how many block cards are too many? Maybe I remove one more Bite, actually. So they are still a comparatively worse damage card. Because we have Strength Gain, I don't want to remove Blade Dance. This benefits 3 times from our Strength. We just saw it win the Darklings fight because it's extra damage. Ever correct to remove our Backstab and make our turn 1 better? Maybe. Although the fact that it removes itself after being played makes that less enticing. Cut a Defend and add the next block card we see. Also very reasonable. Be very happy with another Blur. Let's do that. I'd be very happy with another Blur or Backflip or Dodge and Roll or anything like that. So let's cut one Defend and plan to replace it with something else. I'm also not going to buy, like I said, that Ghost in a Jar. Although that might be morally wrong. Against the Transient, we just have to have consistent output of damage or block. This deck can definitely make that a thing. No problem here. Keep the Skewer, not the Blur. Just gonna discard this. It's not really any better, but I'll take it. Panic Button Blade Dance. It's not until the second time through the deck, which does take a while with so many cards, that we are in anything resembling reasonable shape. Oops. I don't think I need the jacks. Let's do this. There we go. After a mere 6 turns, the transient leaves. With so much dexterity, I think we just keep adding escape plans to this deck. They're very good. Don't need an Empty Fist or a Cleave, although those could be pretty fun. We're going to upgrade one of our many footwork, and actually, no, we're going to upgrade Phantasmal Killer first to make that free. That's even more important. We're going to fight our first elite of Act 3, which is this stinky Nemesis. Shouldn't be much of a problem, though. Finally, some block. Good. Swiftpot's not bad. Beautiful fight. We get a fossilized Helix, blocking the first instance of health loss. Meat on the bone, healing us 12 after fights. Offered another Acro, Protector, Doom and Gloom. I'm actually happy with one more Acrobatics at this point. Increases our skill density for the escape plans, lets us draw more. Protect or Doom and Gloom, both are kind of interesting in their own right. Protect so that we have retaining really high value block is actually pretty decent. But I think we'd rather get the additional card draw. Hey, glad to hear it, Bulbin King. Enjoy the cozy vibe. Having a nice place to just relax and do whatever we want is absolutely the feel of the stream that I like to create. So there's the replacement block we wanted, Backflip. I'd even be okay cutting one more Defend at this point because of all the card draw. We're... maybe don't need a White Beast statue, although it's pretty good. We have so much money, we might as well do everything here. I'll buy Toolbox for another card on turn 1. I'll buy the Ornamental Fan for 3 block if I play 4 attack... for 4 block if I play 3 attacks. I'll take the White Beast statue, so we always get potions from combat rewards. I'll take a Backflip for card draw. I might take this Flash of Steel as well. And yes, I'll remove 1 Defend once more. It's also Panache, giving us reward for playing enough cards each turn. It's a power that's free. That's worth considering. There's Grand Finale. If we can get 0 cards in draw pile, Finale would be pretty good. But with so many cards in the deck, I'm not 100% sure we want that. How afraid am I of Awakened One? Not particularly. How many powers do we have? Just the 3 footworks and a Well-Aid plan. So one damage power, the Panache, is not bad, although it is a bit expensive. I think the Flash of Steel is pretty good, especially with Ornamental Fan now, as our strength goes up. I'll take the Flash of Steel, but not the Panache. All right, many more relics headed our way. We got to take the blue key out of this chest, but we get 2 relics here, 2 relics here, and then 1 more shop with membership cards. So we'll have 1 more heavily loaded store that we can purchase stuff from. Pretty good. Oof. Hurts to lose Shuriken. Should have given up the Orichalcum, but there's a pile of money here, at the very minimum. Do we really need Shuriken anyway? It'd be nice. It'd be nice, but I don't think we need it, per se, you know? The buffer blocks the jacks? Oh no. I'll still use it. But I won't like it. I will not like it. Having 4 energy per turn for this fight is really, really nice. Definitely glad we took the Slaver's Collar in this instance. I've actually killed on that turn. If I hadn't played the Phantasmal, I think. Phantasmal's free, though. Don't worry about it. Get healing! Meal ticket heals us when we enter shops. Toy Ornithopter heals us when we use potions. Crippling Cloud for poison. Iron Wave plus. Actually pretty dang good, right? This is... We're gaining strength and dexterity, so this card will benefit from both of those numbers. And it comes with a free upgrade. Actually, that's pretty good. I'll take an Iron Wave plus in this deck. Iron Wave plus is not that great on Ironclad, but here as Silent with 3 footworks, I think it's very good. I'll take it. Winding Holes. Could take Madnesses, take a Riot Curse, or just lose 2 max health to an even 40. Go down to an even 40. Don't want Madnesses. Grab our last key. Face our last elite. Reptomancer. Take another Flash of Steel. Why not, right? Good fight, Reptomancer. Bottled Lightning. Have a skill in the opening hand. Concentrate plus to discard cards for energy. Or stack to block for the number of cards in the discard pile. Actually, talk all you want about this Concentrate. The card that I think is really, really good here is Stack. Starting with Blur is pretty tempting. Starting with Phantasmal or Acro is pretty tempting. Or starting with Terror, actually. Bottled Terror is really nice. Let's do that. Although with Bag of Marbles it's less important. I'll lose all 600 gold for the Red Mask on turn 1. It's just 1 turn of Weaken. No thanks. No thanks. Remember when we wanted to slim the deck down? Yes, we want to slim the deck down in terms of number of turns to draw through it, which I think we have successfully done with the addition of all this card draw and some basic removals. It's going to feel smaller, even if it's not literally less cards. We also got more stuff on turn 1, which is pretty sweet. Now, got bites, so I really don't mind losing buffer to the jacks here for the moment. Double damage. Double your damage. I realize that I've had to make you stronger, but it's for your own good. Or my own good. Or something. Iron Wave. Gain 12 block, deal 33 damage. How about that? How about that? This is turn 2. We've almost killed the Awakened one on turn 2. It's pretty ridiculous. Redraw the blur. Easy. Seven strength, 7 dex. Glorious. Caca. Or so they say. Is it possible to play a power fast enough after the Awakened one dies the first time so that they gain strength? Like, glitch it? I don't think so. I think as soon as the boss dies, because the strength gain has to be queued up, and it won't be able to queue up in the action queue if they are dead. So I don't think so. Alright, one pathetic boss down. One time slug to go. With 10 strength and 10 dex, I don't imagine things are going to go all that well for the time slug. I'm also going to casually create a free upgrade on everything for myself so that the stinky time slug has to suffer. Let's go blur panic button here so I don't lose my buffer immediately. Phantasmal blur panic button. 4 cards for next turn. I'm only going to draw 4 cards. Let's make it 3. Hmm. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to play the jacks yet. Could have also just played the malaise. I think what we did will be perfect, actually. Fair enough. Get rid of anything that exhausts while we still can. Unfortunately, these slimed are going to pollute the deck quite a bit, as is the minus draw going to be a problem. potion, okay, and double to finish. Stack blocks for 25 currently. I like it. Please enjoy being skewered. Thank you. Our time meter will restore themselves to half health. I guess we should play Jax now. Actually, no. We're going to continue to use the buffer. Also play exactly 12 cards on this turn. Use the opportunity to get rid of some slimed if I can. Perfect. Might be our buffer right here. Nope, doesn't have to be. It won't be. Instead, I'll block for a bazillion. Easy. Wouldn't you? Let's see. Gotta play the Blade Dance if I want to end the turn here, so this gets played. Wasn't going to be able to play a full 12, so I decided to stop early there. So that we can do this. See, we're really stacking our defenses. The time meter cannot hurt us. Would we take a Rupture at this point? I don't think so. I don't think we would need it. And finally, the Buffer. Good job, Buffer. GG. To thump, a deep pulsing dread could be felt through the room. Is this the heart of the spire, the source of these drugs that I'm constantly deciding whether or not to use? Casual 1,200 gold equivalent going into the shop. We're going to upgrade one more footwork. Yeah, we didn't even actually lose the buffer, technically. That was a bit weird. Offered another well-laid plans. Sadistic Nature, Catalyst, Sling of Courage, Lantern for energy on turn 1, another Flash of Steel. Interesting. Well, we'll definitely take these relics. I mean, you might as well, right? Lantern for extra energy turn 1, Sling of Courage for extra strength against the elites, and for good luck, the boot. Might as well. Given how many cards are in the deck, and that we have a mummified hand, I think an extra copy of Well-Laid Plans is exceedingly reasonable to pick up. I think Reflex is quite reasonable to pick up, now that I have enough discard. We've got Prepared and 2 Acrobatics. So it too is card draw. Flash of Steel is reasonable. Probably Entropic Brew is going to be better than... Or maybe Strength Potion, even. I think we're going to just kill the elites really quickly. We're guaranteed to get new potions, though. I don't need to buy a potion. I don't need to. Zeroniak. Did you hear about the silence that was able to defeat her foes by spreading feelings of despair and unhappiness amongst them? She was widely known for her sadistic nature. Let's see, do we take out one last defend here? We do have the ability to remove a card. We should, I think, do so. And I did add enough blocks. Yeah, let's remove one more defend here. We'll add the reflex. Don't think I need Sucker Punch. Don't need Catalyst. We'll take another Flash of Steel. Why not? 2 Flash of Steel plus. And I could take Sadistic Nature, but we really don't apply enough debuffs for it to be very good. So do I want to swap potions? I guess with the Ornithopter, we might as well go Entropic Brew here. Onwards! Go with the thinking ahead for the extra draw. Secret weapon so that I can get a particular attack into my hand could be nice too. Although I won't be able to kill either of them. Actually, yes I could. Maybe with Skewer. Actually, upon review, I'm quite sure Skewer can kill one of them. Skewer will deal 21 damage X times. So that's 100. If only I'd had the Happy Flower one higher. That's 105 currently. This will deal 16. No, we have 3 strength. This will deal 19. This will deal 9. That's 133. Good enough in my book. We don't get attacked by this thing on this turn. Easy peasy, no problem. Keep the stack. We have buffer for this hit if we need it. Hit me. Good work. Alright, let's reroll this potion a bit. What's in here? Power potion. Do I want to reroll a power potion? I don't think so. I think I want to keep it. You're blocking this turn. Let's get you closer to death. Should have played the footwork at least, though. And try to get the Happy Flower on a slightly higher number here. We'll have 99 block next turn, so I think we should kill this turn. Killing next turn will be pretty difficult to achieve. Also, I think you die to the thorns anyway, so good luck to that. Wow, we got a tough bandages at the last moment. Whenever we discard a card, gain also 3 block. In addition to the 3 damage from Tingsha, the full combo. Neko Skull to apply more poison if we want it, a duplication potion, and some mediocre powers. I'll take a dupe pot over a power pot. We can duplicate one of our upgraded footworks. Or we can duplicate Malaise, maybe, or something. I don't know. Yeah, good old Loop. Loop is here. Can't say we got a lot of use out of this prismatic shard, but at the same time, I can't say I don't like my odds in this fight against the heart. Finesse seems excellent. Block and draw. Although, note that our buffer is at critical risk of being lost here. Alright, if I want to... If I want to play any more cards without losing buffer this turn, I have to use the panic button now. Which I think I should probably do. Actually, wait, can I acrobatics? Tingsha will work before Beat of Death, right? Let's find that out. I'm pretty sure this does work before Beat of Death. And there's Blur. Blurnick button. Yes, that does work. The terror. Backstab. Could panic button and retain the block. Probably a pretty good idea. I'll do it. And then draw extra for next turn. So we didn't get our well-laid plans in play. The multi-hit first. But the question is, can we keep the buffer to block next turn? Minimum using the Ghost in a Jar we can. These are not the draws we wanted, though. If I use the Ghost in Jar, we can. That's also... just mention that, actually. I'm going to dupe this Footwork Plus. Okay, it does require the Ghost if I want to do the thing here. It seems it's probably worth it, right? Because either I use the Ghost in Jar now, we have buffer for next turn. I'm completely block it. Or I don't use Ghost in Jar now, we lose the buffer, and I have to use the Ghost in Jar next turn. So I think that means we use it now. And then I might as well play this too. Of course, we may have to pass this turn, depending on the draws. Nope. Not that there's a whole lot to draw, mind you. That's fine. That's actually good. Finally getting some strength online. Keep neutralize Dagger Spray stack. We're actually going to overdraw. That's fine. All of the exhausting cards in the deck are pretty much gone, meaning there's a concise set here of about 30 cards that we're going to be drawing through over and over again now. And that's going to be good for us. So much dexterity. Definitely going to be good for us. First, we need to remove the artifact layers off the heart, though. Keep backflip stack malaise. That would have been a good time to use the explosive potion for just a little bit of extra damage. Here we go. Gonna remove the artifact with the malaise. There with the neutralize rather, then use melees to strip all the strength from the heart, resetting them back down to a lower damage value. Use the stack this time. And that should slow down the heart enough that we can now win pretty decisively as our strength goes up. Double damage next turn. Okay, block this turn. This, all three of these. A Chompo. Alright, that's the damage capped that turn. Beautiful. Thanks, Phantasmal Killer. $29 block from stack. Actually, even more than that. Here. Yeah. Well, well, Mr. Hard, that seems like it sure is a GG to me. GG. Hey there, if you enjoyed that video, watch this one next. And before you go, join us on Twitch and watch live. I'm there 5 days a week playing Slay the Spire, answering questions, and chilling with the community. Click the link in the description to follow right now. Ta-ta for now.